Good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Gurunath Badiger, Associate Professor of English, Government Postgrad College and PG Center, Dharwad. Today, I welcome you to this orientation program on the preparation of NET and SLET examination to be conducted by various agencies in the country as a requirement for the appointment of teaching positions in colleges and universities. As I told you, this is an orientation for the postgraduate students who are interested in seeking to appear for this kind of tests. And in this particular session, we are going to give you a brief introduction about what is this NET and SLET and what are the criteria, what is the basic syllabus, and how to approach this examination. Our objective is to provide an overview of the syllabus. Our objective is to introduce the students the mode of examination and so that they can prepare themselves with a better confidence. So in this orientation program, we are now going to talk about various aspects of NET and SLET. The very idea is to create awareness about the examination system, so that even while you are studying in first year PG or second year PG, you can prepare well for the examinations like this. Now I'm going to share a few slides with you and let me just talk about what is this NET, what is this SLET, and how to prepare ourselves for this kind of examination. So NET, as you know, is called National Level Eligibility Test for lectureship in colleges and universities across the country. It is now being conducted in online mode by National Testing Agency, and SLETs are conducted by states. If it is Karnataka, we call it KSET, Karnataka State Level Eligibility Test. So both follow the same rules. Actually, all the SLETs are conducted as per the rules and regulations of UGC. In Karnataka, we see the SLET being conducted in offline mode. And there are also fellowships given by UGC that is called JRF, Junior Research Fellowships. And if your score is very high and if you are fit into that particular category, you will be given JRFs. And mode of examination is objective these days. Earlier, it was both objective as well as descriptive. And now it's a multiple choice test you see in these examinations. And there will be two papers. Paper one is called general paper. And this paper is carrying 50 questions that carries 100 marks. And paper two is an optional paper. If you are an English postgraduate, you will be writing English optional. So this particular orientation is for the students of English literature, and we are going to provide you an idea of how to, prepare yourself for this NET and SLET in English. And before we go for discussing English syllabus for paper two, I just want to give you a brief idea of paper one. and how one has to just um, look into the various aspects of paper one, which is also very, very interesting and a necessity. These days, paper one syllabus has been made very, very interesting and more comprehensive, and it, 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 it aims at introducing the whole of higher education system, pedagogical practices, and various aspects related to teaching, learning, and evaluation and research in the institutes of higher learning. So it is divided into 10 units, and these 10 units are equally important here. And teaching aptitude has been a part of paper one for a long time, but this time it is made very comprehensive, and you can see various aspects of behavioral psychology. It's dealing with various aspects of teaching in higher education institutes, teaching environment, pedagogical practices, and learner-centered teaching, teacher-centered teaching, and a facilitatory method. Variety of aspects related to teaching is discussed in this particular paper. It's very comprehensive. If you go through the syllabi of this particular paper, you come to know the subsections also. It is just an orientation I am just trying to provide you. Research aptitude is also a very important aspect of our present day higher education system. A teacher who is a candidate who is aspiring to become a teacher in higher education institutes should have a sound knowledge of research aptitude. What is research? Various aspects related to research, because research has been emphasized so much these days. Research and development is much needed quality in all teachers today. And so the methodology related to research and various aspects of research methodology, research papers, presentation, and various aspects related to data collection. All these things normally what even we prepare ourselves for our PhD coursework, we are supposed to study something and develop research aptitude. And the third one is comprehension. Comprehension, a passage is given and you will be asked to comprehend and find the answers in multiple choice questions. Comprehensions, understanding a passage, understanding. For a teacher, comprehension skills are very, very important, and we must be able to read and understand the questions and answers. And the fourth one is again a very interesting thing: communication. Communication plays a major role in teaching learning process. A good teacher should be a great communicator, and obviously the communication skills play a very, very important role in teaching. You should know what is communication, the modes of communication, barriers to communication, the effective communication, what makes communication effective. And so this is also included in the very testing system that we have in the present time. Irrespective of your discipline, you are supposed to have minimum mathematical reasoning and aptitude, whether you are, arts teacher, or a commerce, or a management, or science. Minimum mathematical reasoning and aptitude is necessary, and such components are included in paper one. And logical reasoning is equally important. And next, the data interpretation. So various, again, it is related to research aptitude and mathematical reasoning and aptitude. So data interpretation these days, we are now dealing with the huge data and how to interpret it. And particularly, it's very, very important for teachers of social sciences, physical sciences, and even for the humanities. We require minimum skills of data interpretation. And the eighth unit is very interesting. It has been um, emphasized even in NAC process, information and communication technology. Information and communication technology, that's what we call ICT. Use of ICT in research, use of ICT in teaching, use of ICT in teaching of languages. ICT has been a part and parcel of our system today, and particularly in the pandemic situation. ICT has been used extensively, and today we are before you. It's because of ICT only. Otherwise, we would not have reached various learners across the country. It's now ICT has been a challenge in the previous times. Now it is an opportunity. You can use various tools of communication technology, like PPT, video lectures, virtual classrooms, LCDs, use of various coursewares, softwares, and various electronic gadgets for making teaching and learning a very effective process. And there is also a chapter on people, development, and environment. People, a teacher is a social being, not only an intellectual being, a social being, a responsible citizen of the country, society. And we are not just supposed to know only something about our own subjects. We should have a minimum awareness about the lands and people around us, various developmental processes, various issues related to environment, because environmental concerns, environmental issues, and the minimum awareness about how to develop a better society by creating awareness about environmental degradation and how to protect this earth from further such degradations. So that has been emphasized these days, because in higher education we are dealing with the young minds, and obviously every teacher should have a minimum knowledge of the people, development, and environment around us. Um, and finally, it's about higher education system. And every person who is associated with tertiary education in the country should know various aspects of higher education, what's various policies, whether it is Qatari Commission or various national education policies, new education policies, and various policies introduced by the government for the improvement of higher education in our country. Various agencies like UGC, NAC. One has to have a minimum knowledge of the very system we have in our country. So, paper one should be emphasized. It is of course possible for all aspirants to study these things. There is nothing technical about it. If you try, if you read, well, certainly you can get through this paper one, and at the same time it's a value addition to everybody. Yeah, there are so many interesting topics in this particular paper one, which would help you directly in enhancing your teaching skills. That's in fact the aim of this NETs and SLETs actually. The aim of these examination is to um, test your teaching ability and skills. So this is something about paper one. I will just move on to the paper two, and we are now moving towards our main objective, and because our uh, target audience are now those who are pursuing their interest in NET and SLET in English, code number 30. And I'm just going to give you a brief overview of syllabus for English literature. So it has been revised in 2019. And this time, there are no long list of topics given, but everything is implied here. And what is this? We need to understand. If the chapter one or unit one says drama, and unit two poetry, unit three fiction and short story, fiction and short fiction, and unit four non-fictional prose. So chapters or units appear to be very four, but read the note. Read the note. What is the note here? The first 4 units must also be tested through comprehension passages to assess critical reading, critical thinking, and writing skills. These 4 units will cover all literatures in English. That's a very interesting thing. All literatures in English. Earlier, we used to have a comprehensive syllabus about, British literature, Indian literature, Commonwealth literature, American literature. There used to be sometimes, and there used to be options also. You can pair either for American literature or Indian literature or Commonwealth literature. In paper 3, there used to be options, but now it's not like that. All questions are compulsory, and a candidate is supposed to understand. Drama means drama, the best drama written in all the literatures in English. That is for sure. Literatures in English, either literature written directly by the English writers, or American writers, or Indian writers, or Commonwealth writers, or any writer who is world famous and whose works are translated into English. So literatures in translation, literatures written by various writers across the globe. So drama means it is not just the English drama of Shakespeare, Congreve, T.S. Eliot, Dryden, and all. It also includes the drama you see in India, the playwrights you can see, We have Karnad, Asif Karimbai, Tendulkar, and Tagore, and we have drama written in America. You know, we have drama uh, from the Caribbean countries, and the European drama, we can say Greek dramas, French plays. So we need to have a comprehensive idea. It doesn't mean that there is a discussion on a very minor writer. The discussions will be on the major writers of the world. So when we say drama, if you just say classics, um, and poetry. Similar is the case with poetry. Poetry is just a chapter, but when we say poetry, poetry of all kinds, written in English, British poetry, Indian poetry, we have wonderful writers from Chaucer to the present times. We have wonderful writers in India from Gurunath to the present writers. We have wonderful writers in America. We have wonderful writers, particularly in Commonwealth literature, wonderful poets. All that poetry is a part of a discussion. Fiction and short story, again, as I have told you, all literatures in English. Novel is such a very interesting genre which has been, of course, developed in all literatures in the world. That is Indian novel, British novel, American novel, or African novel, Afro-American fiction. We have wonderful fiction and short fiction in the French novel, the German. A variety of writers have contributed greatly, even the novel in translation, whether it's Russian or whatever. So obviously, fiction is a wide area where candidates have to focus. In non-fictional prose, you have non-fictional prose, you have various prose writers, essays, autobiographies, biographies, criticism, variety of things. So, though it appears to be only 4 chapters with 1 or 2, words like this, there is a treasure hidden inside, and we need to unearth this treasure of literature. And it's a happy thing that it's happy to know about various writers. That's why, in fact, while sharing information, and this is one more thing I want to just share with you, that by talking about these writers, we learn a lot of things, irrespective of our age and qualification. There is lot of things we need to learn in the field of literature, and literature enhances our knowledge, widens our understanding, sharpens our sensibilities. And this is the main purpose of these examinations also, because continuously updating, orienting ourselves is a necessity. And we as teachers, by involving in this kind of orientation process, we are orienting ourselves. Learning together is a very interesting aspect. And particularly in this, paper 2, you have unit 5, language, basic concepts, theories, pedagogy, English in use. Earlier it was an option, but now it is a part and parcel of paper 2. We need to know about what's language and the basic concepts, the working system of languages, various theories related to language and pedagogy, and how English, is used in the context, law long and law parole, the knowledge of language and the use of language, the contextual use of language. And that's a very interesting thing, because every English teacher need to know these basic concepts. Unless we know the basic concepts, we don't understand how to approach our students in a systematic way. And another chapter, the sixth chapter, deals with English in India, history, evolution, futures, how English is introduced in this India. Of course, the coming of the British in 1600 to the present time. But at least our understanding should be from the beginning of English education in this country, what we call Charter Act in 1813, and how Macaulay Minutes, various policies in the pre-independence and post-independence period, how the English language development is seen in this country, what are the plans and policies of the British, and how English remained in this country even after independence, what are its qualities. So the whole historical perspective is the part and parcel of this particular understanding. And the seventh chapter is about cultural studies. Cultural studies has been emphasized much these days, and it's a part and parcel of our literary studies also. We need to know how the cultures, how our literature is a reflection of culture, whether it is popular culture. So all things related to a lot of research is going on these days in culture studies, unearthing the very rich culture of the country is also one of the aims of studying culture studies, and the importance of culture. Literary criticism and literary theory. Literary criticism is again one of the things which we see in the earlier papers, earlier syllabus also. We can study what is criticism, various critical, thoughts, beginning with Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, and we have Horace, we have Greek, Roman, history of criticism, and we have British criticism, we have European, we have critical theories developed in the post World War period, all about the post colonialism, feminism. Various critical theories are also to be studied comprehensively. And the last chapter is research methods and materials in English. Again, research. In the first paper, research in general. In this second paper, research in particular. It is research methods and materials in English. It opens up you to the wide area of research, and it in fact makes you to think critically and begin to think about the research possibilities in your area. If at all you want to pursue research, has been made a mandatory issue these days, because very soon you see that a research degree is compulsory for appointment in all types of teaching posts in higher education institutes. So obviously, as far as so this is the overall idea of paper 1 and paper 2, and what is the qualifying criteria for declaring KSET results? It is said that no, the candidate has to appear for both the tests compulsory. Some students just write past paper, and if the past paper is not good, they are going to quit, and uh, what they are going to quit for uh, the second paper. This should not happen actually. So obviously they have to write paper 1 and paper 2. So those who have appeared for both paper 1 and paper 2 will be considered for result, and 6% of the total number of candidates appeared in both paper 1 and paper 2 will be declared eligible as per the reservation policy set by UGC. So this is the minimum criteria, and what I request all the participants is that focus on the study, focus on the consistent study of these literary texts. In the later sessions, we would be talking about how to study, what are the important components. In fact, our PG Department of English has decided to start this orientation program for postgraduate students only with an objective to create a learning ambience, and by providing information, basic information, students can focus on the areas of importance. So with this, I'm going to conclude my session, and hope all of us will be, happily participating in the process of teaching and learning. Wishing you all the best. Thank you very much for patient listening.